Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do your February the 4th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope you're having a beautiful morning. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into our meditation. I cannot pretend I don't know the title. This is only my 6th taping. The title of the meditation is Courage in the Face of Self-Doubt. Let's see if we can get through it this time. There are times when we must find the courage to be the lone voice on an issue or stand up for principle against a strong majority. That's taken from Guiding Principles, Tradition 2, Opening Essay. Tradition 2 assures us that as individual members, we don't have to have all the answers. But sometimes we do have an answer to an issue that comes up in our group, and we're sure it's the right one. It's well thought out. It's aligned with our traditions. It's airtight adherence to our primary purpose of carrying the messages sharp as an axe blade. It's undeniably the right answer, except no one else seems to view the issue the way we do. The group conscience seems to be veering away from logic, principles, and the spirit of NA. So do we go with the flow or make waves? When we were using, many of us lived by the old standby, go along to get along. Even though we may not have agreed with what was being said or done by those around us, we lacked the courage to stand up for ourselves, our beliefs, or other people. Working a program helps to reveal what our convictions are and how they're aligned with NAs. In a group situation where going with the flow might be the easier choice, we first of all check our motives honestly to make sure we're driven by our common welfare and not our ego. We ask our higher power to help us find our voice, shaky as it might be in the face of a strong majority. Courage is the strength to stand up for what we believe in. Courage helps us beat back self-doubt and fears of disappointing or angering others. Let me reread that. Courage helps us beat back self-doubt and fears of disappointing or angering others. It keeps us engaged, even open-minded, when our right answer is, in the end, sidelined by the majority. Humility can steady us no matter which way it goes. And once we find the courage, we can continue to be emboldened to keep using our voice and standing up for principles, while inviting in a higher power to influence our group decisions and staying out of the result. I ask for the strength to practice courage to change the things I can. I know what I believe in and will have the courage to stand up for it, and the willingness and humility to accept the outcome. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This meditation is talking about courage in the face of self-doubt. And it's talking about when we feel a certain way, a decision needs to be made, or our opinion needs to be voiced, because we truly feel that it's serious enough that it could be affecting NA as a whole. Not that petty.com stuff, okay? This is something that is serious. And we feel a certain way about it, but we know we are the minority. We know that the way I might feel about it, everyone else is saying something different. But I think this is a large enough issue. right? When do you speak up? When do you need that courage that we pray for, right? To change the things that you can, to speak up. Because I feel like sometimes we start out with the right motive, doing the right thing for the right reason. And in that situation, it's appropriate to bring it to the table. However, because we're not trained in healthy communication, generally speaking, when it is relational, one person to another, or one person with a group, or a group with one person. We are not really skilled at that. Because we're not really skilled at that, our motive may have started out okay. It may have started out in the right place. However, because we are not gifted at receiving constructive criticism, we're not gifted at others having the right to have their own opinion about things and agreeing to disagree. We're not really skilled at that. Our feelings get so attached to the fact that we are being rejected. Our thought may be, what's being rejected generally in this situation. That's what it's talking about. We get so tied up in that. And then we push back because our feelings are hurt. Now, your motive just changed right there. Your motive for what you were saying changed right there. It's totally normal to have some feelings behind being rejected. Totally normal. But if that feeling throws you into fits where now you're having a temper tantrum, your voice is louder than anyone else's in the room, you are singling out certain members and pointing out that, well, you were the one that said we shouldn't have security at that last event, and that's how so and so walked in there with a gun. And if you're digging up the past like that, only to prove your point, then maybe the point actually didn't have as much substance as you thought. It had too many holes in it. And the foundation that it was laying upon was not as stable or goodwill oriented as you thought. That's possible. It could be that the motive was totally pure. It was okay. It was the right thing for the right reason. But because you have not trained yourself in how to relate to people and communicate with people and allow other people to give you feedback that is not positive all the time, you haven't grown up in a sense. Now, the essence of what you're trying to say is still there, but it's skewed now because you've revealed that you have emotions and heartstrings attached to the outcome. I hope I'm making sense here, because you probably can go back in your life and see where you thought you were doing the right thing and it didn't work out, and you had emotions attached to the outcome, the fear of looking foolish, the fear of being rejected. You had emotions attached to that. And so when it didn't go your way, you dug a hole that was deeper for yourself with your mouth, usually. I want you thinking about this, asking strength to practice, courage to change the things you can, and knowing what you believe in and have the courage to stand up for it. And that you would have willingness and humility to accept the outcome. We got to get this right. Why do we have to get this right? Because there's a lot of newcomers coming in. There's a lot of people coming new to Narcotics Anonymous or coming back after years and years of using. They're coming back. And we want to make sure that we're still carrying the message that any addict can stop using, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. That's our primary message. And we don't want to get that confused with our feelings, our motives. We don't. We want to be able to communicate even our differences and be okay with the outcome. Beautiful meditation. I think I could go on for a whole nother hour on that one, but I won't. I'll spare you. Listen, I want for you to have a beautiful day today on purpose. I intend to. I'm looking forward to my day. And I will be talking to you tomorrow.